Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome in. My name is Tracey Campbell, and you are here watching on My Sweet Home Living. You may also be joining us from the Craft on the Clock group, but I'm so happy you're here for a fun live crafting session with me today. In today's project, we are doing a primitive wall clock makeover. So come on in here and join me. Do chime in the comments down below so that I can know that you're here and I can welcome you if you're new. I'd love to see you in the comments as well. And I do want to make sure that we get shared over into our Craft on the Clock group this morning. As you all are coming in, bear with me for just a moment. I wish Facebook would make this easy for us again. They keep taking this option away. It's driving me crazy. Good morning, Mindy from the Pink Loma, Texas. How are you, friend? Hello, Sandra. I have a fun project for you guys today. And I think it's something that you'll really like. And I think it's something that you can adapt to your own items that you might have. But it's all focused around a wall clock. So how many of you have been looking for a wall clock and you just maybe can't find one that fits your decor? Or maybe you have one and you don't like it or you want to change it up? That's what we're doing today. Because that's in the boat. That's the boat that I am in today. So let me share our live stream over to the group. While you all are coming in, I can't wait to see you all. I'm going to be live today, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. 4 days this week. Can you all believe it? Good morning. Good morning, Jody and Gail, Susie. How are y'all? How are ya? Happy Tuesday to you. Let's get the mic cord out of the way. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I'm running a little frazzled this morning. Good morning, Teresa. So excited to see you here. I don't know what my computer's doing, but anyway, I don't know if you all were able to join me Saturday and the rest of lots of our creative team members that were participating in the All Things Vintage and Thrifted event. Let me turn my clock. I got clock on the brain today. We had the Vintage and Thrifted Marathon on Friday and Saturday. Friday is the market day, which you were able to buy things and shop things and all that. And then Saturday was our DIY day. And I don't know if I missed you all or not, but here was my little keepsake box. And there we go. I'll get the reflection out of the glass for you so you can see it a little bit better. But this is my keepsake memory box. I do have a jar lid. My mom has a jar lid that was a little bit thinner. I think I'm going to use that up here for a little mini photo frame and finish this off today. And we might have a chance to finish it off today. I don't know. We'll see how time goes. But today's, oh goodness, there we go. It's finally loaded. It took 5 years. We're finally getting fiber optic in this new home in October. We had fiber optic in our previous home, but when we moved, the service wasn't available out here at our new location. And so they were getting it installed in our area, and it's supposed to be hooked up in October. Thank you so much, because we need it around here. We definitely need it so badly. And in all kinds of ways. All right, we are being shared to the group. Might take 5 years. There it goes. Okay, so here's my wall clock that I want to show you all. Now, there's nothing wrong with this clock. In fact, I've had it for many years, just the way it is, just like so. I've already kind of taken it apart. And I like it because it's simple, it's black, and it can kind of fit into any room or decor that I have. But I wanted to put a spin on it today, and I thought I want to customize my clock. I want to make it fit my craft room, which is kind of decorated, throughout the seasons or whatnot. And so it kind of sent me on this little wild hair of an idea. And I thought, well, I'm just going to take you all along with me today on this wild hair idea, and we're going to do it together. So, if this is something that you like the idea of, hang with me, because I'm going to have several designs for you that you might be able to use too when it comes to making over your own wall clock. All right. We got all the housekeeping done and out of the way this morning, so come on in here. This is going to be a quick project, but we are going to chat a little bit this morning. And like I said, if we get this finished really quickly, then I'm going to finish my little, words are just not coming to me today. I'm going to finish my little shadow box. Blah. There we go. I just had to spit it out. Good morning, Miss Linda. My brain is running like 50 miles an hour faster than my mouth today. Good morning, Miss Linda. How are you? Okay, so any wall clock that you get, you can kind of disassemble them in some way. Now, if you're shopping for a wall clock, I can't say that I've been shopping around to kind of look at the mechanics of the wall clocks that are available right now. But if you look before you buy, be sure that you're looking for a clock that looks like it can be sort of taken apart in some way. Okay, hey Miss Heather, hey Carol. And so that's what I did. Mine had some little, kind of like a back of a photo frame might have like some little press tabs where you could kind of lift them up and press them back down to change out the photos of. Well, that's kind of the way this clock is that I have. And so it was really easy. All I did was take some pliers, and it had these little tabs that I pulled up that were fastened on to the actual clock, the back of the clock face, if you will. So once I took those little pull tabs all apart, let's go ahead and take the battery out because it's still ticking, because we will need that again here in a little bit. I was able to pull this watch face, clock face out, if you will. Okay, now this background is glued down and I'm okay with that. And in fact, what I'm probably going to put in here, I don't plan to glue anything on top of this, if you will. I might just use some double-sided removable tape. That might be a thought. Anything you put down though has to be thin enough in order to slide under those little clock hands, if you will. Okay. Good morning, Miss Jamie. Hey, Miss Deborah from Splash of Paint. How are you, friend? Okay, so this has the glass, and this is just the frame of the clock, if you will. There's nothing here. In fact, I could use this as a little shadow box if I wanted to. I'm going to slide that over. We kind of have to disassemble this a little bit. And this has a motor that's attached to the little hands on the clock. So you have to kind of disassemble that. And mine I've just secured, this little motor is just secured by some little tabs on the back. And so I have pulled off those tabs, and now I can pull this motor straight up. However, you want to be sure that you look, if you look at how this is assembled right here, because usually the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand all have to go in a particular order according to the way the little clock motor is designed. Okay, so you might want to take a little picture of this before you disassemble it so that you can be sure and put it all back together properly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put my hand under this so that when I pull my motor up very slowly, it's going to also pull those hands, it's going to push those hands off, and those hands will fall into place. Maybe. Oh, that tab is holding me. They're going to come off right into my hand in a nice, neat little stack. Just be very gentle with them. And that's my motor, and that's what the motor looks like, okay? You can buy these motors, but in fact, at Hobby Lobby, I've seen them before. The little clock face assembly. And see, it's right here in my hand, just like this. And it's still in the same order. My hour hand goes on the bottom, then my minute hand, and then my second hand. And then it has a little push pin in the center there that you push down into the motor mechanism. So you want to be careful not to bend these little clock hands because they're super, super fragile. Hi, Miss Christy, Lenora, and Cheryl. How are you all? I'm glad you're here today. Okay, so I'm going to set that over to the side. Now we have this blank clock face that we can work with. Okay, so you've got options. If you have decoupage paper, if you have a calendar that you really love the look of, if you have some printables that you really love, if you have some artwork from one of your grandchildren, or maybe a photo, anything can go in this background, okay? Now, clocks don't have to have the numbers on them. I mean, I know you all have probably seen watches before that don't actually have the numbers. We kind of know what time it is by looking at it, right? But I designed one that kind of goes along. If you all seen any of the graphics that I used for the fall vintage and thrift, it has a beautiful fall farmhouse and a beautiful fall barn in the background and a farm truck with pumpkins. I'm putting it fall for right now, and I'm going to use it in a way that I can change it out with the seasons, and I will create one that's just a neutral everyday look for you, okay? I'm going to be sharing these graphics for you on my Telegram channel. So if you're not on my Telegram channel, you might want to get on there and I will pop that up. Hopefully it'll pop up for you. That's where I'm going to be sharing this graphic and the others with you. And if you're watching this replay on YouTube later and you're waiting for the Telegram channel to pop up, you can find it in the video description later when this video is uploaded for you. Let's grab some scissors. So I have designed this graphic here. Let me show you. Just show you. There you go. This is the graphic that I have designed. Now, I did fade the background a little bit, but I'm not sure that I like the faded background. I just didn't have time to print another one. So I'm going to give you a full color one and a faded color one, and you can decide. I kind of wanted these numbers to show up a little bit, and so I'm kind of okay with this, I think. And if not, then I'll just print it out with a darker version later. But you can kind of see the process of putting it all together today. Now, this one is designed, hopefully I sized this one correctly. You never know until you print it out and see for yourself. I sized this as a 6x6 square. You can enlarge it or shrink it based on your copier or your printer. Okay, it's a circle. All clocks are circles, so it should be universal. You would just have to enlarge it or shrink it to get it to fit your particular clock face. Mine, however, I sized it just right to fit mine, I hope. It even has a circle that you can trim, like a trim guide, and we'll go with that and see how it works. If it doesn't work, you might not want to do this, obviously. So we'll see. This is going to be the guinea pig project today. I didn't have time to do a dry run of this, so this will be an experiment with us all together here. So you might want to stick around and see what the final outcome looks like before you decide to just start taking apart your clocks. I might have to edit this design. That's why I did not go ahead and send this design to you first on Telegram, because I said I need to test this sizing and the measurements and everything first before I sent it to everybody. I wouldn't want to mess up a project for you before I ever test it out. So, and this is what we're going with. And I'm just going to cut, I'm cutting around the inside of that trace line, okay? And but think of all the options. I mean, just think of all the options that you could do with a clock. This would be a wonderful gift-giving idea for an anniversary, for a birthday, for a Christmas gift. Yeah, you get the idea, right? I'm still freezing. Well, we've had problems on Facebook all morning with freezing, so it's not me. I've got great signals. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's nothing else competing with my internet today, so I hate that. Sometimes if you go out and come back in, it works. Sometimes not. I'm fine on your end, Stephanie. Okay, here's one more thing. If you have not updated your Facebook app lately, you might want to check and update that, because sometimes that has an effect on it. Okay? Okay, so it kind of seems like a mixed boat there. Okay. Now, did it work? Did it work? Did I size it right? I think I did. I just need to kind of tweak it just a tiny bit. So let me kind of trim around just a little bit more to get it to squeeze in there. And like I said, you can decoupage this into the back of your clock. But keep in mind, I don't think I would decoupage anything in here unless it's like an everyday design that you know you want to stick with, okay? Since this is a fall design, I know I don't want to keep this in year round. I want it to be where I can change it out. So I'm going to put mine in as a temporary fix. And I am wanting to create an everyday design, and I'll be sure and share that with you all too on my Telegram channel, that you can get that. I'll also share it to my broadcast channel. If you're part of my Messenger broadcast channel. My goodness, my brain, my mouth needs to catch up with my brain today. I need just a little bit more trimming. Looks like down at the bottom. Okay. Almost got it just right. And if you have a clock face that when you take it out that you can trace the circle on, that would be ideal. The way mine is put together, I couldn't really do that very well. So I kind of had to improvise. And I'm going to make sure I get my 12 lined up. And then around the 4 and the 8, I still need to trim just a tiny bit. Come out of there. Come out of there. Okay. Trim around the 4. And I'm going to trim around the corner of the 8. Okay. Just a little bit more, I think, right here on the side, too. Okay. Hey, Miss Cynthia, am I frozen? It looks okay on my end. That's so confusing. I'm so sorry. All right, we're going to keep rolling with it. I apologize, you guys. I'm hoping that it'll fix itself for you all. Okay. There we go. There we go. How about that? How cute is that going to be? Oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine how cute the full color version would be. So I'll send you both, the kind of faded background and the full color version. But I kind of love it just the way it is. Holy moly. Okay, so this is not real sturdy. So I would probably, if I were you, print this on cardstock. Some real thin but sturdy cardstock. Did I have cardstock today? No. Didn't. Good morning from New Zealand. How are you? Thank you, Ms. Denise. How are you, friend? So what I'm going to do is I have one of these gift bags. It's kind of like the same thickness of some heavy-duty paper. And so I want it just a little bit sturdier than just my standard copy paper. So if you guys have cardstock or a little bit thicker paper, then you might kind of skip this step and just go straight to printing right on it. I probably could have just put this gift bag in there and been done with it, right? No. We couldn't do that today. That'd be too easy. Okay. I am going to put an ever so light coat of Mod Podge. Now, I haven't used just plain straight up Mod Podge in a long time. I'm usually using my coffee podge, but today I don't want the darkness on this, so I'm going with straight up plain Mod Podge. All right, light layer. If you want to do the iron-on method with your Mod Podge, decoupage, whatever, this would be a great project to do that on. I'm just going to be sure to smooth mine down. And I don't have any wrinkles as long as you go really, really light. And that's all you need is just a really light layer if you're doing what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to trim around that one more time. And I'm going to get right on the edge of that printable because I know that printable, we've cut it to size to fit perfectly now. So trim around. put it in there and size it up. This would be super, super cute with any kind of printable. You do want to make sure though that your printable is not overly busy or super dark. If it's super dark, then your clock hands are going to be really hard to see. That's why I did this version with a faded background. Okay. All right. This is wanting to wrinkle on me just a little bit. Not wrinkle, but curl. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and just press it and smooth it. And if I have to glue this one down, I might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking I could use my archival double-sided tape and be okay. I might, if I trim it just right, I might be able to stuff it down in there and it stay put. And I think that's what's going to happen. Yes. Okay. I just don't want it to buckle or wrinkle in there. I want it to lay completely flat. So it might take just a little bit of fussing with, okay? Yeah, this is going to work. I'm just going to take the edge of my fingernail and run it around the edge in there. I'm just getting a look. Let me put it in my clock frame, and I just kind of want to get a peek of it. Get a peek. Oop, my lighting went wonky on me. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, I love it. Now, it's not wanting to lay super flat for me, though. So, I am going to put just a few pieces of double-sided tape that is removable. Hang on with me. Let me grab my tape over here because I think that'll be best to hold it in place and keep it flat too. It is still kind of wanting to buckle a little bit. Okay, so let's put a couple of pieces around the edge. I hope this is giving y'all some good ideas. Now, the only thing I will say is shop around. Look at the clocks of how, if you can see the back of the clock, the mechanics before you buy it, I would look at it. Now, I know this clock I've had for years. It came from Hobby Lobby though. And I know clocks are made in lots of different ways. So you just have to look at them, okay? And if you want to make your own clock, you could definitely do that too. In fact, I might try my hand at making one for Christmas. I've kind of wanted to do a Christmas clock special for Christmas. And so I've got an idea floating around in my head for that. So I'll have to be on the lookout for that one. That'll come soon. Christmas will be here before you know it, you guys. I'm going to put one more little piece down here. Okay, now let's get the numbers lined up again and smooth this down. That should do it. That's the trick right there. Removable archival double-sided tape. It worked. Let's see, I'm missing your comments here. If you don't have a pre-made circle on your printout, yeah, you could. You're right. Use a protractor. Not very many people have protractors anymore, though. Not very many. I would think you would probably just start with the circle of your clock itself. Even though I know this outside is larger than my circle on the inside, this would be my starting point. Trace that and then just trim it down. Maybe measure in to see how large your frame is and then measure inward of your circle before you start trimming. Okay, let's get a little craft knife or an X-Acto knife. I'm going to try this little paper puncher. No, I'm not, because it's not big enough. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut my circle. So on the back, I need that circle open in order to stick my clock hands back in there. Okay. Now, let's carefully cut this out. I kind of need to do it from the front, honestly. I think if I can press on that, I'll get the indentation of that little circle. Yeah. And just cut that little circle out. You know what? This would also be a great wedding gift or bridal shower gift. You could, I don't know if for those of you that might be good with designing things digitally, you could, you know, put their family name, put like the Campbells, established, blah, 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 you know, put like a photo of them in the background or whatnot. That would be super cute. Okay. Have that circle cut out right there in the center. That's where we're going to start putting this all back together. Okay, so let's we got to put the battery, the little motor back on the back. Okay, there we go. Just like so. I've got, see the little motor piece coming up out of the center there. And you want to make sure that you put these back in order that you took them off. So for me, my hour hand goes on, then my minute hand, then my second hand, and then the little peg on top holds them in place. Okay, so I have to push this little hand down. Give me just a second. Push that hand down. Push this one down a tiny bit. I love this. I broke off one of my tabs when I was taking mine apart a while ago. I was in too big of a hurry and I was like, oh snap. Okay, let me just kind of clean that glass off a little bit. Okay, now my clock has the hanger up here, so I've got to be sure that I put my face back in here in the right direction. Well, first I got to put my glass in there. This clock has glass that goes in the center, just like a photo frame. Okay. And then my 12 is going to go up at the top up here. And now let's take a peek before we put it. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me snap that little motor on there the best that I can. Okay. Now, do you see? I'm backwards and sideways and all which ways. There we go. Isn't that sweet? Now, how cute would this be? Now, I know this is kind of like, you could, like, the sky's the limit with this project. How about if you, I mean, there are artists and creators on Etsy that will take a photo of your home and they will create a painting of it, like a little graphic, like a little artwork, similar to this, just like this, only it would be your house. And how cute would that be for someone who's building a new house or moving into a new house to have that printed on a background with the clock face? Oh. All kinds of ideas floating around up here today. Now let's put this little clock back together. Mine has some little tabs. I have to push these back down. I just have 4 of them. And it's super easy. I was kind of worried that thinking, well, maybe this doesn't come apart. Not all clocks will come apart. So you will want to check that. And then this tab goes over. And, okay, it has this tab. It's going to go over. And then we'll put the battery in and we'll watch it. We'll watch it work. Okay. All right, I do want to make sure I get these tabs pressed down really good because that's what holds it. That's what holds it tight and secure. So, okay, I think we got it. Feels secure. Our little battery. Let's see. You could do a picture of your chickens. Sheila, you're right. You're right. I probably wouldn't do a picture of my chickens, but as a chicken printable might be heading your way for your clocks. It might. Okay, so it's 10:19. So, okay, my clock hands are still working, so that's a good thing. Let's set it. I don't know about y'all, but I think that's pretty nifty for a clock makeover. What do y'all think? Is that not the sweetest? Oh, now my lights keep glaring off of it. Now, I can still see my clock hands just fine, but if you print something or use something in the background, it has to be like faded, if that makes sense. The color can't be super intense or dark, or super busy, because your clock hands just won't show up as well. Yes. You know what else would be really cute? Now you have to find just the right design in order to fit your clock face, right? Because if you have a design that's like, it has to be where you can have, let me show you, maybe. I got a printable over here. I can kind of show you what I'm talking about, maybe. You wouldn't want something that is super rectangular, because then you're going to lose some of your design. I would tell you, oh, here's a great idea. Oh my gosh, here's another thought. Fabric. How cool would it be to have a fabric background? Holy smokes. Oh, that would be so cute. Okay, I've got some ideas here. Hang on. Okay, so this graphic would not work because my clock face is circle. So just imagine, if it's hard for you to imagine, draw a circle cutout. Draw a circle cutout. So here's a circle cutout I've got right here. Let me just pull it out, because we've got a few minutes to play and talk and brainstorm. You would use a grunge clock. Oh gosh, the grunge the clock face. You definitely could. But if you start putting a lot of things on it, it might be more of a permanent fix, right? Mine, I've just put a seasonal one in there. So I don't want to put anything like a grunge, like a coffee podge or anything like that in here that might prevent me from changing out that image in the background, if you know what I mean. Okay, so like this design right here, if I wanted to use this, and I was looking at a design that was similar to this, put a circle on it. Okay, see, I can't get that design on that circle without chopping some of my words off, right? So this would not be something I would want to use if I can't get a good look of the design on the circle. Now for this one, I probably could, if I printed it large enough, I could probably use this one. Let's see, let's just kind of fit it around a circle. I could do that. I would have a little bit of the white space on the sides, which may or may not work for you, just depends. But what if you have some fabric? You could definitely use some spray adhesive on the backing of your clock. The back of the clock face. Spray it with some spray adhesive and then lay your fabric in there, press it down real good, and then use a craft knife, an X-Acto knife, and go around and trim around the inside of your clock. Okay, this would make a darling Halloween clock. I just got to thinking about that. How cute. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go find another clock. Now, even though this is an oval design, I love, Miss Esmeralda sent me this one, and I just think it's so fun. Like, it's not like, it's kind of Halloween-y, but it's subtle. Like, nobody would really know that that's like Halloween unless they really paid attention to it. And that's what I love about it. It would like sneak up on you and like be a conversation piece. I just love that. Oh my gosh, y'all. But anyway, you could use any kind of fabric, right? I love it. Yes. Yes, I see what you're saying. You could rust it up. Absolutely. Now this one already has a little bit of distressing around it. Can't probably see it because of my lighting. My light wants to shine off of it. But it is distressed around the edges. But if you wanted to create a rustic, like a rusty look to your clock face, oh my gosh, yes. You could go all kinds of directions with this idea. You just have to keep in mind that your backing has to be flat. It has to be flat. And I can see where I did not put my minute hand. I've got it setting on an angle in there, so I'm going to have to go in and fix that a little bit. It might not work right. I've got to, it's kind of catty cornered. I need to flatten it to make sure it's level so that it will pass over the hour hand. Okay, so without grabbing it. But isn't that a fun idea? Hey, Miss Mary, how are you? You love it? So think about some ideas that you can do, and you can really see how you can personalize these and make these as a gift. Get started on your Christmas gift making right now, right? You could paint the hands. Absolutely, you could. These hands are black, so depending on your background, if you go with a darker background, you might want to paint your hands a cream color, or, you know, I would spray paint them though. That way it's a light coat of paint and it's not heavy, or you're not going to maybe bend the hands at all. The hands are super fragile. They're delicate, you know, and they can bend easily. And if you bend them once, it's almost really hard to get them back to their original shaping. We finished this super fast, didn't we? Right? I just love the idea. It was kind of something that I've just been thinking about for a while, but this is not something that I'll keep in here all year long, but I just think it's a fun idea and a fun concept. And now that I've got that fabric out, it's like, oh my gosh, I really want to make I need a bigger clock though. So like if I have something like this that I would want to use as much of the design as possible, I would measure my square. I would measure out a square and see what the width is, and then I would look for a clock as close to that measurement as possible. So let's say I don't have my tape measure here. Let me get I just knocked my pillow out. Let's use this little craft board here. So this is a 9-inch, almost an exact 9-inch square. So I would look for a clock with a 9-inch diameter clock face. Okay, that way I could use as much of this design on this fabric as well. I might be able to find it. You might find an oval shaped clock. That would be a good idea. I know I have seen some of those like at Hobby Lobby that are kind of oval shaped. Yeah, I can make several different seasons, and that's what I was going to do with this one. Make 4 for the seasons and then just change them out. Yeah, that would be super cute. I do want to try this one with a little bit darker of a background just to see. I love this image, but I feel I faded the coloring thinking that it would help me to see my clock hands, and it still might be the way it needs to be, but I was going to test it and see. But the idea, you all take the idea and run with it. I want to see all of your clocks. I want to see them. And if you make a primitive style clock, I want to see it for sure. Alarm's going off saying, oh, it's time to get off. I want to share them, you to share them. You can share them into the Craft Around the Clock group. And you can also share them in my All Things Primitive group. Okay? I want to see your photos. I want to see what you come up with. All right? So I hope I've inspired you today to get thinking about how you can make your time beautiful. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. noon Central Time right here on Craft on the Clock and My Sweet Home Living. Have a great day.